Why are people so rude? Hey, so from the title you can guess the kind of style of video that I'm doing today. It's obviously been like so done already by the bigger YouTubers. I personally have not been like home with my equipment and the time and stuff to film this video, but I've never filmed one of these before and I was just really interested to film one for the first time. So obviously I'm going to be going through my New Year's resolutions with you and kind of just general plans for 2018. So firstly, let's just ignore whatever the heck's going on with my hair right now. This is not a permanent thing. I'm transitioning from like navy blue back to as close to my natural blonde as possible, so this is why this is a disaster right now. Secondly, if you live near to a Wilko's, as in like the store Wilkinson's, I really recommend that you kind of get down there ASAP if you're into bullet journaling but don't want like a full-on commitment of an actual bullet journal. You want one that's kind of set up for you already, you're just in the market for some nice stationery, or you kind of want something that's going to help you lay out and structure your plans and goals for 2018. So I literally live for Wilko's stationery stuff. It's just amazing. I go in there for all my stationery needs, for the majority of them anyway. And whilst I was in there in 2017, I found two really handy books. They also have like this really cute marble grey aesthetic going on right now, which like a lot of people know is my aesthetic. So the first book thing that I found is a budget planner. I mean, look at the design, first things first, it's just so cute. Within here it gives you kind of definitions and tips of types of spending and kind of tips and tricks on how to be a more savvy spender, a more conscious consumer. I mean, let's just first of all just appreciate that. How cute. And then it breaks down each month for you, and within each month, so here's January's budget. Within each month there's space for you to write down where your income's coming from, things like that. And then you write down kind of your fixed and variable spendings that are going to be happening within the month, and then it gives you several pages of space to just write what you've spent, how much it was and how much you're then left with. And I found already that this has helped me to be so much more accountable with my money, which is kind of one of my resolutions. Is I've always been a really bad compulsive spender, and I really want to be more accountable and adult-like with my finances moving into 2018. I mean, I'm 21 now, so I need to stop being a bit childish with my money. And this has just, like I say, been amazing. So I've just listed everything I've been spending so far, and it's really helped. And that kind of just continues along for all of the months. In the back here, which is a really handy thing, is this little pouch where you can store all of your receipts and things, so that's where I keep all of those, just to help me fill out my spending tracker kind of thing. So yeah, that's like the first thing I wanted to discuss, is really, like, if you're bad with money like I am, this is amazing. It makes you feel organised and accountable, and it's just really cute, so go buy one of those. And then secondary to that was also this. I found this health and happiness planner, and I mean, just look again at how cute that is. The design and everything is perfect. It's got the gold, which ties in to the budget planner. I also got a matching pencil case to keep my bullet journal pens in and my fine liners and things. So just impressed, very impressed at Wilko's, and this shit was like super cheap. So in this health and happiness planner, I've written out my main resolutions for the year, which I'm just going to kind of talk about after I've kind of explained this. Again, it's got that cute ass marble theme, so really cute, succinct, I love it. The first section of this it's kind of a tracker more than anything, but the first section of this tracker is a mood tracker, and every day you just write down your mood at the top and a little explanation of why you're feeling like that. It can be kind of difficult, especially if you're somebody that struggles with your mental health and you kind of have several strong moods within a day. I just try and pick the mood that was kind of the most recurring for that day. So I've had mostly happy and content days, which is pretty good. And at the end of every week, it asks you to list things that you're thankful for. I did it a little bit early, but I just wrote my family, my bedroom, because I'm really all about my personal space. Fresh bed sheets, a really simple one, but we had guests staying, so being able to get back into my own bed with fresh bed sheets was a real treat. And my bicycle, which if anybody watched my 2017 videos, my vlogs specifically, you'll know that I got really into cycling last year, and I would absolutely love to really continue and pursue that passion this year, because I just adore cycling. The next one is a sleep tracker, which is really handy. This is something I tried to have in my posh bullet journal, but I've just found, being a student nurse and having low motivation a lot of days, having a really like posh, proper, you know, goals bullet journal is just too much. So again, this is all set out for you already. You just fill it in each day as you wake up. And I found this is really interesting to do, and it also, you can track your dreams and things like that, which is super interesting. So I've been doing that and interpreting my dreams, which as a mental health slash kind of like psychiatry student, I find super interesting to do. There's a mindfulness thing. I'll admit I haven't used this yet, although I absolutely preach about mindfulness as a mental health nurse. I haven't yet used it, but basically you write down an activity, any activity you want, and you're supposed to kind of just sit there and be mindful of just that one specific thing. I mean, mindfulness is about being very in the moment and focusing on the here and now. It's very much the same as meditation. So I just wrote things like going for a walk, lighting a candle, and then I'm just gonna, I don't know, just whenever I've got free time, sort of go through this list and just do it mindfully and write down how that makes me think and feel. And it's a really good idea then, once you find kind of how you think and feel, if any of these things calm you down sort of thing, then you know you've been given some new tools to cope with your bad days and things, which I think is really cool. It's just like a little extra that wasn't intended, I don't think. Then lastly, there's the health and lifestyle tracker. So you write down your steps each day, any exercise you've done, and there's a food tracker, which again helps me to be accountable, because I'm a very, you know, inaccountable person, if unaccountable is a word. And in the back is just a note section. I don't think I really use that, but it's there if you want it. So moving on to the whole point of this video is the happiness tracker. So this is all about your goals, gives you tips here on how to make sure that your goals are planned and measured well, things like that, to help you stick to them. And each goal has an entire two-page spread to focus on it. So I'll give you a brief look at that. Nice. And then I'll just explain it. So basically, one of my first goals is to lose £10 minimum this month to kickstart my long-awaited weight loss. And that goal I started on the 1st of this month. So the 1st of January 2018. Obviously I'm overweight, I want to do something about that. And I think trying to aim to lose £10 a month is really realistic. That's like £2.50 a week, give or take, which is doable, which is realistic, and means within the year I'll have reached my goal, so that's really good. And then the next bit is measuring. So it says, how will I know I've reached my goal? And so for that I just wrote by weighing myself once weekly on a Monday morning. You know, pretty self-explanatory. Planning, how am I going to get there? So by trying to be more mindful and accountable, again I've used the words mindful and accountable, very important words within the career I'm going into, but also they're a big theme across this book. So to be more mindful and accountable about what I eat, and by trying to stick to a paleo vegan diet. So for those who don't know, who haven't seen in my vlogs, because I'm so overweight and I have PCOS, my GP has advised that I eat a paleo diet. And I also strive to be vegan as often as I can. I mean, I'm not perfect. There's days when I eat meat, there's days when I eat dairy. But in general, for economic reasons, environmental, and for the sake of the animals, I do try and eat vegan as often as possible. I will also make more effort to cycle regularly and do my weight routine and yoga routines. So again, those three kinds of exercises are my favourite to do, and I think they're really good because that fits in like everything that's important within a really balanced weight loss routine. So I've got the cycling for the cardio, the weight routine for the resistance and strength training, and then the yoga for the flexibility and things like that. Why is this important to me? And for that I've written, it is important for my health, for the way people treat me, for my job, I need to be fit and healthy, and mostly for my self-esteem. So I'm doing it for several reasons. Most of these are pretty generic reasons to lose weight. So it says, when will I achieve this? And so this particular goal was to lose 10 pounds within this month, so I put hopefully by the 31st of January 2018. 10 pounds would be amazing, but more would be phenomenal if possible, because I know when you first start your weight loss, kind of the bigger you are, the faster you lose initially, so there is potential there for me to lose more than 10 pounds in 1 month. I'm not striving to lose any more than that. If I lose any more than that by chance, that's fantastic. I was super unhealthy about my relationship with food and weight in 2017, and I'm trying to be more positive about that now, especially if I'm going to be a mental health nurse helping people with eating disorders. And how will I reward myself? I will reward myself and my self-esteem by reviewing my wardrobe and reincorporating clothes that previously were too small for me. The second one is to begin my zero waste journey and become a more conscious consumer, including shopping as ethically as possible. I've put in brackets here that when I have my own house, I will begin to compost my waste and recycle the rest. Right now I live with my boyfriend and his family, so we just have to go with the flow and do things how they do things. But when I have my own house, I'd really love to recycle absolutely everything I possibly can, and then to compost any household waste, and the only thing I'd be left with is plastic, which hopefully by the time I have my own house I'll have found a good way of disposing of it. There is no good way to dispose of plastic as it never decays, but I will do the best possible thing I can with my plastic waste. I could use the mason jar technique as a way of tracking just how much waste I generate in 1 week or 1 month, although zero waste is immeasurable to a point, so it doesn't matter how ethically you live and how often and how much effort you put into being zero waste, because we now live in a world where we're no longer just hunter-gatherers and we use everything we find. It is impossible to never generate any waste, so don't kick yourself when you are generating waste, because it can't be helped to a point. How am I going to do this? And by switching from disposable options to reusable and sustainable ones, for example, being more considerate of any purchases I make, and by bringing my own bags and cutlery and straws with me, that kind of thing, so that I'm bringing the things with me and not having to use the disposable ones that will never decay. Why is this important to me? And for that I've put that the current state of the world's environment terrifies me, and the fact that plastic is such a widely used and therefore widely disposed of substance that never decays means that we must start to limit our consumption as much as possible. I think if we all did our part in the world, the plastic industry would become much smaller. It would never become obsolete, but it's just one of those things. If we all did our part, the oceans and the landfills would be so much better off for this. When will I achieve this? Zero waste and conscious consumption is a lifestyle rather than a measurable goal, so I simply hope to continue the new lifestyle for the foreseeable. And how will I reward myself? I will probably reward myself by treating myself to an investment piece of ethical clothing, so finding an ethical retailer whose pieces that I really love, and even if it's a more expensive piece, I'll make that investment because it's an ethical piece that's going to last me a long time and I'm supporting the ethical industry. Finally, the last goal that I've written down for my short-term goals for 2018 is to go on a spending ban in February 2018. So this includes things of leisure for myself, so like eating out, buying clothes, for activities and days out and things, but it doesn't count on things like my debut supplies, basic food or medicine, birthday presents for family and things like that. You know, they're kind of essentials that I need, especially the medicine and food. My degus need their food, and it is my mum's birthday in February, so I don't want to not get her a present because I'm doing a spending ban. How will I know I've reached my goal? I'll use my budget planner to track my spending and justify each purchase for the month in more detail than I usually would. I'm going to do this just by being more strict with my spending, and the reason that I'm doing this is because I have a problem with impulse spending, and so this is a goal or test even that serves both as a way of saving me more money in the month of February and also of challenging and hopefully getting rid of one of my worst habits. So yeah, this book is super handy for being accountable. So just to kind of wrap this video up, to anybody who watched my videos and subscribed to me in 2017, it really means a lot. My channel is still super small, but it's going to be, I'm not the most professional YouTuber out there. I don't do this for a living. I'm a student nurse. This is a hobby. I would like to think that one day I would grow to a reasonable amount of subscribers on my channel. Even 1,000 or 2,000 would be great for me, because that to me is a rewarding enough amount of people benefiting from my videos for the amount of work that I put in. But again, thank you to anyone who did. I promise you that 2018 is going to be a much better year for the professionalism and the entertainment of my videos. For the regularity of uploading and things, I'm going to stick to the uploading once a week on a Friday or Saturday, depending on my schedule that week, unless I feel a video is really important and really needs to be put out there at a different time. But that's going to be the schedule, and I've got some super interesting and exciting projects starting on this channel, including a beauty/Wicca series. So yeah, I've tied in Wicca and beauty into one exciting series that is going to be happening probably once every month and a half or so for the next year. So that's going to be really exciting. Looking forward to 2018 so much, and all of the things that I'm going to be able to accomplish this year. So, as I always say in my other videos, thanks for watching, and always remember to be kind.